You are the general.
Opening statement. Last time we played this team, we got embarrassed. So tune in Friday night.
Just gonna say, as a competitor, just how nice is it to have a second chance against a team that does that? I'm not trying to put bold performances.
Oh no, it's huge. It's huge. Like I said, the 2 weeks ago was probably the worst loss we've had since I've been here. So to get this team again, understand what type of game it's going to be, know what we did wrong, know how we can be better, let's do it again. Good team over there. They've always been a good team. Well coached, disciplined, physical. We're the same. So we're going to put the ball down, go toe-to-toe again, and this time it's going to be a little different.
If you're going to play a team twice like this, do you prefer it being so fresh, or would you have preferred to play them maybe when you played Stanford or something?
Of course, you like it being fresh. There's no other motivating factor. Like, they embarrassed us. So as soon as the Oregon State game was over, celebrated it for a couple hours, and we were like, oh yeah, it's time. Let's go. We got some unfinished business.
Schematically, was it helpful that Oregon State was somewhat similar to Utah with rolling out multiple tight ends and being good in the run game, that maybe you were able to fix some things that can be translated into this week?
Absolutely. I think that, for one, helps with the confidence. We can't stop the run. We're a good defense. Sometimes there's some tweaks and things that we may not do the best at certain times, but we know we can, and when we do it, we're really effective and efficient at it. So going into the week, knowing it's kind of the same thing, being able to do it and know that we can be physical, we can play discipline, and we held, one of the best rushing teams, 85 yards, so let's go put it on tape.
Was the difference from week to week, was that just assignments and handling assignments better? Was it something else on the side? What do you point to as the big improvement there from Utah to Oregon State in the run game?
I think the biggest thing was our mindset. Especially, I can say to a personal test, I had I missed 2 tackles against Utah. I didn't have any missed tackles last week. I sent a message, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to send a message. We knew what the stakes were. We knew that if we win, they win, we'll see them again. So we were like, we're gonna send a message on tape. So when we see them again in Las Vegas, they know exactly what they're gonna get.
Were you a little shook when the flag went for the targeting?
Oh, absolutely. Because I was trying to get the ball,
yeah.
And it was just one of those bang bang plays. So I was amped up the whole game, but those last 5 minutes, I was living. You could tell.
So on the broadcast, you grabbed the helmet, you're kind of going to the sideline, and it looked like Mario pointed to the board, being like, "You're on TV right now." Like, was that what he was saying to you there?
No, he was saying, he's like, "You're good. You're not going to get kicked out. You're not going to get kicked. Just relax." He was telling me, "Just relax. You need to just calm down. Because I've been reviewed for targeting so many times, and and then he had said something, so I was just mad, and I was like, I don't want to get kicked out. I knew if I get kicked out, I miss the first half next week, so a lot of emotion.
Is that the most heated you've been on a football field in a while?
The most what?
Most heated. That's it.
Honestly, it has. Because I'm an emotional player. I play fired up, but that time I was angry. Like, I was really angry. And I was just like, every time, it's always something, always trying to get me out the game. So I was living.
Do you like playing kind of the villain card? I think people in Corvallis, back-to-back years you've had. Do you like that opportunity?
It's funny to me because, for instance, I talked to Tristan after the game because I was like, there was no malicious intent. They keep saying, I was playing football, trying to pull him out of a pile because they're on the 1 yard line. So I'm like, I wasn't trying to hurt the dude. And he even knows that. He didn't even get hurt from me. So we're good. I said we're good with him. And then the play, the target, whatever, why would I try to take somebody out the game? I want your best players on the field doing their very best. So it's just the same thing. So that's why I tweeted, "See y'all Friday." I'm chilling. Y'all can be mad all you want. Whatever it is, I have a game next Friday.
Do you think he was coming for you instead of Dante?
Oh, probably. Is what it is. People just.
But that's from behind. There's a code, and he got the gate because of it.
We have a game on Friday.
Jamal and Jordan were added to the leadership council along with Stephen Jones. Coach said that for you particularly, because you're a defensive back, can you speak to Jordan and Jamal and what they've done in your eyes to kind of? Coach said that the leadership council wanted to add them, but that was an active choice. Like, what was behind that?
For Jordan, came back, club on the hand, has been making plays. Coverage has been really good. He hasn't really made too many mistakes, and another guy that can play all the spots, and just somebody who's really stepped up leadership-wise. His words matter to people around here. Whatever he says, people look at it and take into account what he's saying. And then Jamal just taking stride after stride after stride, and just getting better on and off the field, and just somebody who we look at as a leader, and he's continued to grow and mature mentally, so we feel he should be in it too.
How much has he grown just given off the field what
Right.
happened that kept him out of a couple games at the start to where he's at now, to being put on the leadership council?
He understood what he did, and he did everything he could to work to get back, and we respected that, and we knew he's a good person. He's a good dude. He's my friend of mine. Off the field, I hang out with him, so good person, and he knows he is, and he just made a mistake.
Would you rather play in a dome or outside when all things are kind of equal in an environment like you're going to go into? The weather doesn't play a factor in game script and game plan. What do you like?
I like for situations to be hard because I don't want to hear any excuses once we win. So whatever it is, it was cold, snow, whatever happened, it is what it is, but we won. So I like to make it as hard as possible. I like challenges.
Playing well in the trenches is always important, but Dorless and Popo and the importance of those guys having good games on Saturday.
They got to stay in their gaps and get off blocks and just be them. Take up, be space eaters if anything, and allow it for us to be clear from the second and third level. But keep doing what they're doing. The way they played this past Saturday, they do that, I think we'll be in good hands.
Being a safety, you find yourself matched up with a bunch of different positions. And looking at Utah, they obviously have some pretty good tight ends. I'm curious, kind of what goes into defending a tight end successfully, since they can do a lot of different things.
It depends on the kind of tight end you're going against. For instance, Utah, I know 80 and 86, they're a little different. 80 is a little bit faster. He's a little more polished receiving compared to 86. 86 does a good job, but he's more of a true tight end. He's going to block a little bit more. So just understanding the techniques, that's down and distance, the situation, how you want to play them. And for me, switch it up. You may see me pressed, I may play off. Of course, I play zone, getting hands on people, make sure we reroute, be physical, just different things.
I'd ask Coach DeRuiter this, so I'm not putting you in the spot, but putting your game film hat on, could you ever envision doubling a tight end?
When you say envisioning it, like in college or
like this week? But I'm
no, because I feel like we're good enough to cover anybody. We don't need to double some people, and I think they have a good tight end, but I feel we have some good DBs too. And of course myself, because he does line up as a tight end in the slot. I love the matchup. That matchup is going to happen. We will be manned up at some point in the game, so it's about winning your one-on-one. But I mean, even next level, you got guys like Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, Gesicki, different tight ends. So sometimes you need to. It just depends on the defense and what the offense is trying to do. They're offense that wants to do different things. So doubling a tight end wouldn't help us probably as much if they're a team who's balanced and wants to run the ball, but then they'll flex them out sometimes, play action, so just different things like that.
How versatile is Jamal, where you guys came out in that 4-3 look, and traditionally you'd be back there with Hap. You may even roll, or you may roll down. But Jamal's still there to create a 7.5, 8-man kind of box, which he does in base, but you don't have three backers in base. Just how versatile is Jamal to be able to offer something there? Very
versatile. He's a big body, fast, physical guy, so he's able to be in the box and cover slots, tight ends as well, so that helps us. It allows us to do even more, essentially.
There's been a lot of outside noise just around this team, things you guys hear from the outside, but between Coach Moorhead's health emergency, Coach Cristobal having to go home and see his mother, has perspective been added just at various points this year, at least to you guys, that noise is just kind of noise, and then there are things that exist outside this realm here?
Absolutely. People are humans. They're not just, football is great, coaching is great, of course, playing football, but at the same time, you have a life, there's other issues and things that go on, other things that you care about, so it's just about balancing both, and that's what makes football kind of special, because you have to balance both. You have to go to class and go and study extra film and do whatever. You do have family things, health things, taking care of yourself, mental health, all of that. So it's part of it, but at the same time, we understand the goal. Everybody understands the end goal, so we take care of that, and we understand when people have to do certain things, but we also know that they're going to put the work whenever that time is, whenever they can, and we're going to make sure that we hold up our end of that as well. Whatever we need to do on our own, leaders, that's why we have a leadership council. Guys can do it themselves. Coach, you want us to get this done, we'll make sure it's done. That just shows how we are as a culture.
And you're one of the first guys who's usually here on Sunday, and if he's not this past Sunday, and you know why, what does that mean to you as a player when he's attending to something of that seriousness?
We understand. He told us after the game, said, we love you, make sure we take care of everything. Just because he's not here does not mean we don't understand how things need to be ran, how things need to look, what we need to do. and that's just how it is. He's built a culture here, and we respect that. We respect him, and that's what we made sure we handled our business.
All right, thanks, Verone.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah.